Hello, Internet world. This is 2.5 Brains. We're talking about the latest episode of Survivor, the penultimate episode, and we're talking all about it, what happened, what's coming next, give our predictions for the finale, and break it all down for you. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss anything. All the updates, all the content, the finale content for sure, all the Amazing Race stuff coming up as well. Definitely, you can feel free to email the show, pavmentproductions@gmail.com, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/pavmentproductions, and of course you can tweet me directly at YoGrabAGabba. Next week I have some finale coverage. The plan for right now, just so you know, for scheduling, we're planning on doing a quick post-finale reaction, where you have some guests just go around the room quick and take everybody's takes on the finale. So that's something that we've never done before. So I'm excited to see how that goes. Definitely tell us what you think. Tell us what you if you think that's a good idea, or you can subscribe and so don't miss anything. So it's supposed to be immediately following the East Coast viewing of the finale. So again, keep that in mind and be sure to check back. That's going to be a live show directly following the finale. And then, of course, as always, we'll do our actual post-mortem on the season a week or so following the finale. So with all that out of the way, definitely want to go ahead and dive in here. And before I do, let's bring in my co-host, my co-pilot, and the better half of the show, as always, Jessica Tarasik. Nope.
No, it's fine.
Nope.
You don't need to see me.
Nope.
I'm just going to cover up like this. And just look at me like that.
Are you robbing the bank?
Yes.
Don't say that. You're online. It can be counted as evidence. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about this finale. As always, for the penultimate episode, what we do is we talk about the episode quick. Just kind of a quick top. The three big / key moments, kind of just combine them into one, and then we talk about who's going to get to the end, who's the best chance to get in the end, if they win, kind of what they have to do to get there, and what they have to do to win the game, and if they do win, what winner are they like from the past, and then the last part what we do is who's got the best shot of winning if they get to the end. So it's two separate things. It's who's going to get to the end, and then who's got the best shot of winning if they get to the end. So it's saying, it's like the last part is if they all had equal shot to get to the end, who's got the best shot of winning? Because getting the end and winning are very often two separate things. Mm-hmm. And like I said, last season I said Nick had the second worst odds to get to the end, but the best odds of winning.
Right.
And he won cold immunities, and that was really all I needed to do.
Right.
And there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So he got to the end and won. Past the other season, with Ben, I said Ben had the worst odds of getting in the end, but the best odds of winning if he got there, and he got there. So it's definitely a different type of thing. Also, we're going to talk about a little about who could return from Edge of Extinction, and will it really matter? No. Spoiler, it won't. But we'll talk all about that here as we get up to it as well. So, Jessica, before we start, give us your Twitter handle. What is your Twitter name?
JustT820.
JustT820, great. Still at JustT820, and we're gonna tweet her your thoughts and what you think and how smart she is. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in here. As always, start with this in this case, the big 3 / key moments of this episode. What was moment number 1? Failed Belky strategy.
There you go. I don't know how to say the spelling. It doesn't look like anything.
Belky, yeah. The failed Belky strategy. So I remember when she was new, people kept calling her Boliki and Boaltic.
It looks like Bullhike.
Bullhike, yeah.
Bullhike, yeah.
The failed Belky strategy. So what the Belky strategy is?
L in there.
There's one L
in
there.
I don't know. Can't read.
Season 26 of Survivor had Andrea Belky. It was her second season, and she was playing with Malcolm, which is also his second season. Mm-hmm. Malcolm was on the outs. They knew he was going home as soon as he got voted out, as soon as he doing immunity. And he was looking for idols. He was looking and looking and looking and looking and looking. So what did Andrea do? She was the annoying sister.
Fouled.
Fouled him.
What are you doing? Can I play?
Exactly.
What are you doing? Can I play?
That's exactly
Can I
true.
come? Yeah? What are you doing? Can I come?
Exactly. He walked, or anywhere he walked, she went with him. He went to take a poop, she went with him.
That's gross. I would draw the line there.
He went to do. He basically. I was surprised she wasn't in the background of his interviews. Like that's how close they were.
That'd be funny.
Like he's like talking about the thing with the producer, and Andrea's in the background. Hi, mom.
Dun, 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 dun. Hi.
Exactly. And I mean, they're literally there. He was looking around the water well, and she stood there with him for like 7 hours. Just anywhere he went, she
Staring
went.
Contest. 1, 2,
In
3,
essence,
go.
yeah. So basically, that's what it was.
You didn't catch on to that.
I did, but it's boring podcasting. Let's do a staring contest in a mostly audio medium.
I'm just joking.
So, but that was what happened in that season, and this season they kind of sort of tried to do that, but Devins went off and found Idol. Then they're like, oh, we should follow, and then they followed him, right? So I don't know how quickly he found the Idol. I'm sure it took a while. So they should have been following him. They should have been doing the Andrew Belke strategy the entire time.
Right.
Stay with him. If he goes anywhere, you follow him. And guess what? What annoys me about that, by the way? They said the same thing with Ben. There's 4 people and 1 of him. You can literally go in shifts.
True.
You can go in pairs.
They all went at the same time because they all also looked for the Idol.
Right. It was dumb.
I don't know. I was highly entertained by Devon's hiding in trees and like jumping out at people and stuff. That was pretty great.
For sure.
That.
So yeah, that was you gotta pull off the Andrew strategy. You literally don't let him out of your sight for 1 second. If that's what I mean, like, is $1 million on the line. You can't let him do that. It wouldn't have ended up mattering in this case, but I think it will matter, and we'll talk about that a little bit further. But they tried the Andrew strategy today. It didn't really work out, the Belke strategy, but it's the right move. They just didn't make it happen.
Right, not effective.
Didn't do it effectively this time.
Nope.
What is next?
Letters from self.
Yeah, so letters from home. We've heard that. Heard of letters from your loved ones.
Letters from self. Wrote themselves a letter.
They wrote themselves a letter in this one, and so the people on Edge of Extinction got to read their own letters to themselves. I'm not really sure what the producers are going for here. I guess they're trying to give them a little bit of motivation until you get to the end, I guess.
Probably trying to keep people to stay on the island. It's all most of the end, so anybody could just leave if they really wanted to. What if 2 new people wanted to leave the island? What's going to happen to the jury?
Yeah.
5 people on the jury.
Which, at this point, better than freaking 15. It's going to be or whatever. It's going to be 13 freaking person jury. Ugh.
Unless they base it on who wins to come back from extinction, and then you have to fight your way to stay on the jury.
That'd be interesting. That'd be cool.
So, like, the remaining, 10 would be on the jury, something like that.
Right. The only thing I was thinking of is if they could get down to the final 4, I kind of wanted to see them do what they did with what's it called? The twist didn't go over that well because of how it went, but the co-wrong 32 when they vote out a jury member, like somebody wins the immunity and they vote. Like, honestly, that would be something that you could even do like a final, like it. I don't know. I didn't like the twist that season was. I liked it. It didn't have any impact, and people didn't like it because of how the season ended.
Right.
But I would like to see something where if they got down, because now they can't do it because there's maybe 6 people after the finale. But I would think it'd be cool if they could somehow find a way to do like, hey, we'll do a final 3. We'll do one more challenge. The winner gets to pick gets to save a couple people gets to pick like a couple people they want to have on the jury, and then like whoever finishes second gets to pick somebody, and and you can kind of seat the jury a little bit, and everybody else is off. Or vote out. You win the challenge, you get to vote out 3 people from the jury, something like that. Just something to kind of
that would kind of work. The person gets to their advantage. They make it to the end.
Right. I just don't think they have time to do that this season,
Probably not.
Which is annoying. But
coming too close.
A 13-person jury. If it's 13 and nothing, I'll be really upset. I think it might be. I think there's a good chance.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it would be completely that, but we'll see.
It'll be close.
Yeah.
Either way, a 13-0 final vote. Just why even watch? But also why even watch because I think there's that's got a good chance. But so letters from self, they've never really done anything like that before. They've done letters from home, so that was a little bit different. I guess it's cool. I don't know. It gave Edge of Extinction something to do.
Yeah. I mean, plus with the returning players, maybe kind of a thing for them. Remind themselves why they came back on. I guess.
Sure. Yeah. Why not? I think too. I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to get people to quit or get people to stay. I don't
I
know.
think it's more people to stay, but
But at this point, why do they want people to stay? There's freaking 30 people on the jury. God bless it. I mean, the 10th member of the jury today, and we've got 3 people still to go, at least. Ugh. So I don't know. Or say it was 11th person in the jury. I think. Good, yeah. 11th person in the jury. Because then one's coming back, and then 3 more, so it's going to be 13 person jury. I don't know. At this point, I'd rather get people off the island so there's not an insane amount of people. But
yeah.
What the heck do I know?
I don't know. What do you know?
Nothing. Let's go into the third and final part.
Devins is his own amigo. Impact returns.
No, so...
never mind. Impact returns.
Is that?
Can't read. Devins is his own amigo.
So, I don't know why there's so many there's Co-Wrong reference, and now there's 2 Caramon references. Season 26 as well. And I know Mike did it in 30, but it's cool to call Devin an amigo than a Holloway. So, Devins this season did it.
Amigo,
Right.
Amigo,
The 3 amigos of season 26 was Reynolds, Eddie, and Malcolm. And they had 1 immunity idol. They won the challenge. And then Malcolm had 2 idols he found. That's why Andrew was following the next time, because she wanted to find all of them. But Malcolm had 2 idols, and Reynolds 1 immunity. So Malcolm gave his idol to Eddie, and kept the idol for himself. And then they spent their 3 idols in that one thing. There were 3 people on the bottom. And then there was 8 people left in the game, whatever it was. And there was 8 left at that point. And there's the 3 of them. They were the 3 people who were being targeted. And they played all their idols. It was the 3 amigos. It was, we're going all out. We're shoot all of our ammunition right now. Blow the whole load right now. And see what happens. And go for broke. And they got somebody else they want to get out. But I think they targeted the wrong person and it ended up not really mattering at the end. Mike did the same thing on 30 when he had an idol and he won immunity. And he was public enemy number 1. He had 1 ally left in the game. And he said, hey, I'll be giving this to her. And me and her are each going to vote for 1 person. And when we both play our idols, one of you's going to go home. It's basically roulette. Take your chance. And that's kind of what Devins did this season, this episode.
Yeah. Bluffed to show his idol to play for Julie, and they all took the bait.
I don't think they did.
Except for Aurora. No, you don't think they did?
I don't think they did. But we can talk about that in a second. I don't think they took the bait. I think they just. But what do you think? What were you thinking? Devin's odds of playing that over? Do you think he's going to play it?
No.
0.
I knew it wasn't, because he knows he needs it for himself, that or immunity next week for him to stay on here.
Right.
So there's no way he was playing it.
Mike said he got the idea from the 3 amigos when they all played their idols and bluffed and all that. But they actually all played their idols. Where Mike on 30 did the same thing. He's like, I'm playing this for her, then we're going to vote for you guys. He didn't end up playing for her because he knew he needed to keep winning immunity or have an idol. And he ended up needing that idol eventually later on the line, and he used it. But, at that point, at the point of this episode, I knew as well that no way Devin's playing this out for Julie.
Yeah.
For Julie. I also think the other group knew the same thing. I think, because looking at
they use it as an excuse to vote out Aurora, so that's why. And Aurora thinks they did it because they figured she was gonna, he was gonna play it. She said, "Why do you fall for the psychological
reverse psychology?" Yeah,
reverse psychology.
And I don't think they did. I really don't. I think because they were talking about making the move for Aurora anyways. Julie is a way anybody can beat Julie at the end, so why vote her out?
Right. Yeah, I think that maybe that's what swayed then Victoria to change her mind, because they knew Lauren would have voted for Aurora, so that she didn't care. And Gavin didn't want to unless Victoria was, and then they ended up changing anyway.
So I think they talked about it. I think they decided to go with Aurora because Aurora's a bigger threat than Julie.
Right.
And why not just take her out?
You never thought she would be. Never thought she was.
No, I think at this point, coming into this episode, I would say Aurora's had the second best shot at winning. I know I said Lauren last week, but thinking about it, I think Aurora had the second best shot winning coming into this week. And so they are the second biggest threat, and they're still, depending on who comes back, it's still, if those 3 are locked in, they still have as good a shot as anybody at the end.
Okay.
And now that Lauren has options because she can pick up Julie and maybe make a move. But I think they tried it. They tried to do something with it. I think Devin's bluffed. You knew he was gonna because you knew he was bluffing.
Well, yeah, you knew. Yeah.
And you knew he was gonna vote for Aurora. So even if I'm out there, I'm like, look, he's not gonna vote for me. He's gonna vote for Aurora or he's gonna vote for whoever.
Right.
So why would I flip on Aurora? Or why would I,
Flip on somebody else.
Right.
Right.
So at this point, I'm just gonna vote for Aurora and or I'm gonna vote for Julie. There's no point of I don't think they flipped because of his bravado.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe they did, but I don't think they did.
Right.
So, let's go ahead though. Let's talk about the impact players. Of the players who have a shot to return, and this is a little bit of like who's at best because, in all honesty, anybody could technically still win this game. There's two people who can't win this game, and their names are Keith
and Wendy.
Yeah. Other than that, technically, anybody else has a shot to win. Technically, are they going to? Probably not. Will it have an impact on the season? Probably not. No. Will maybe one or two of them do something that could screw up someone else's game? Maybe.
Nah.
So we'll talk about it. But we ranked everybody left in the game, the best odds of winning. This is all this is their odds of winning. It doesn't matter, what anything else. The people left in the game, who's the best shot of winning, and what do we got for person number? Was it 11?
11.
Who's the worst odds of winning of everybody left? Reem. Obviously. She's been out of the game since day freaking 3. She's not going to win this game. Who's next?
War Dog.
Because
he's not going to win the freaking challenge to come back. Sorry, it's not going to happen.
And yeah, I mean, I think
he could probably win if he came back, but he's not going to come back. He's not going to make it back.
And I'd say he's got a 3% chance of winning the challenge and a 15% chance of winning the game if he wins the challenge. Those odds are terrible. I wouldn't bet on him at all. I think he's got
higher of a chance of winning if he got back.
Yes, perhaps, but I just think he kind of overplayed his game. I think he's at the point now where he's kind of drawing dead because he's been out for a while at this point. Yeah. He made a couple moves, but he's been on edge of extinction for the most important part of the game. I don't think anybody's been out for more than a couple weeks has a shot. But if anybody does, maybe it is War Dog. He's smart. He can think. He's definitely been plotting his whole time out there. So maybe he should be a little higher than this. But I just think his odds of winning the challenges is so low, and I think we'll talk about who's going to win the season. But I think War Dog could be a foil maybe to somebody else's win, but I don't see it. What's next? Chris. Why Chris?
He hasn't been on in a very long time. He could probably win the challenge to come back, but they're just going to put him off. He hasn't been around for anything.
And they might not have him out. They might take him in the end because he's not going to win. Because you've been out of the game since day 9, right? I mean, you can't let the person who's been out of the game since day 9 win the season. That's just absurd. What's next? Eric's kind of the same idea. He's made some moves. He only went to 1 or 2 tribal councils total.
Yeah, it wasn't that many.
Yeah, and again, he played a decent game when he was in the game, but the guy goes to 2 tribal councils. You can't let him win the game. What's next?
Julia,
yeah, same idea, right?
Yeah, she had like one big move and then she was gone.
And again, she if you look at it from airtime too, the people who are getting airtime on Edge of Extinction might come back in, might have a shot. Like Devin's got a lot of airtime when he's on Edge of Extinction, so maybe he's gonna win the game.
But come on, the people that have the most airtime on Edge of Extinction is usually Reem because she just doesn't stop talking.
True.
So you can't really go by airtime for Edge for me.
Right. Well, for character too, I guess bigger character, but I mean, there's a couple people I think who are next to him, basically no chance.
Yeah.
I just don't. Julia, we've seen her a couple. If she was winning the game, they would find a way to shoehorn in some episodes with her.
They would, but
same with Eric.
I mean, if you look at tonight though, when they did the letters, who's the people that got actual time to talk? Wentworth didn't talk. David didn't talk. It was Chris, Julia, and Eric that had the most.
Yeah.
That actually got to
David had a little.
So if you want to go by airtime.
Yeah, but even still, I mean, they haven't been on the season at all.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But I just don't think any. I think the person who wins their way back in the game, the best odds is like 25% chance.
Yeah.
Max.
Nobody's gonna win that's coming back.
Max. Yeah. So, and not Max Dawson. What's next?
Aubrey.
And by the way, this is a side note. I think we got really teased about Edge of Extinction in the promo last week. They're talking about like something happening at Edge of Extinction. It's freaking letters there for themselves. How stupid. Why, like, I thought it would be something like they're going to impact the game with giving somebody an advantage or something. They didn't do shit. They read it, letters for themselves. Stupid.
Technically,
What a waste of time.
Devins was trying to convince everybody that his idol was from the Edge of Extinction.
And
so.
nobody bought it. At least
No.
Lauren did. What a waste of time. Stupid. I don't care. That was a waste of my time. Aubrey, only reason I have Aubrey here is because she's a returnee, she's likable, but she went out so early. Again, she was out since, day 15, 12, whatever now.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, no returning player is going to win that comes back because they're going to get voted off immediately. I don't even care if Devins is still there. They're going to go for the returning player. You can't beat them.
I mean, and at this point, too, they've been out of the game long enough, maybe you can, but either way, they're not making the final three. And I feel like anybody who comes back from Edge of Extinction has got a tough shot to win the game because, especially if they're out of the game for half the game, how do you get that person to win?
Right.
You just can't.
Right.
Maybe if this is season 2 and they were likable, but it's not season 2. It's 30 freaking 6 seasons after that. So, what's next? Joe. And the only reason I have Joe here, he could be a spoil. Somebody he could win.
I mean, he's got a high chance of actually winning the challenge, but winning the game, probably not.
No, and the only thing I think he could be an impact player just because he could win the challenge, get back in, and then he could maybe win an immunity challenge, knock Devins out, and then Devins loses or something like that because of that, or Gavin or whoever, somebody who needs that immunity to win. Joe could steal it from them, and then he could even get to the end and lose. But at least he could win his way back in and maybe steal an immunity or two from somebody that needs it.
Right.
And be that foil. But that's about it. Next.
Went
with the same thing. She's been out of the game for a while. It would be really long odds for her to get in and make something happen. It would be huge for Lauren's game if she did.
Yes.
So that's the only impact I can really talk about here is if she did that, she could get Lauren to the end perhaps, and help Lauren with a shot to win. But at this point, I think Lauren is going to get every vote on the jury she can get. So I think maybe Wentworth helps her get to the end, but she needs Wentworth to vote on the jury. So she doesn't. If anything else, she wants Wentworth to win, so she can get another step further and then vote Wentworth out, or have Wentworth get voted out somehow. Because you need Wentworth to vote on the jury for Lauren. That's her. She's going to be scraping for every vote she can get, I think. And the only shot she has of winning is if she has Wentworth's vote, not Wentworth with her at the end. And then who's next? David. And David's here. Why do you have David here?
I mean, I think out of all the returning players, he's got the better shot to win, and he's got Devins there too. He's going to be safe with him, and that's probably the biggest thing. Devins and David, they were the tightest couple, I think, out of anybody.
For sure. And I think David has the best odds of any returning to win. Also, I think he could have a huge impact on the game. Kind of the same reason Wentworth has, but more so even because he was really tight with Devins. I think he could, if he wins his way back in, he could help Devins at the end. And same thing, he wants David. Devins wants David's vote at the end, but also I don't think he needs it as badly. But I think
other people would definitely be voting for Devins.
Correct. But I think David could help get to the end, and then again, if David gets knocked out, what could theoretically happen? David wins his way back in, and that saves Devin in one spot, or they somehow rally to get out. Let's say Julie, and then, with a tie or whatever, they tie and get out somebody, and then they take out David because Devin has his idol. So in theory, he could use David as a shield for one vote, get David taken out, and then Devins has immunity idol, and or he can win a challenge. So that's one thing about David too or Devins I should say, is he's got that Mike Holloway where he can win some challenges. We also got the Ben where he can find idols. So he's kind of got a little bit of both. But if anybody really has impact the game, David. If you squint hard enough, you can maybe see a way where he wins. But I think just of the returning players, have the best shot, but not much of a shot.
Yeah.
And who's next? Aurora. Yeah. Just vote out tonight. Why Aurora?
She's definitely got her resume more. I mean, out of anybody that's left there, I would have saw her winning over Lauren, definitely over Victoria, and probably over Gavin too. So, Aurora, if she can make her way back in, has a higher shot than most.
She's got the only reason I have her here too is she's maybe the best competitor left in challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's anything challenge wise, she can probably do it. I mean, she choked tonight in the community challenge, but
she admitted she wasn't good at that kind of challenge, so she knew.
And she's a lawyer, so you think she'd be smarter. She just use words every day. What the frick?
Yeah, we don't have to unscramble them.
I guess. But I think she could have made something happen and won her way in. Can win a challenge, and then it's all And she was most recent one voted out. So if she goes right back in
the game long enough that she could win if she got back.
For sure. And then number one,
Ron, obviously.
Ron, again, Ron was voted out last week, so again, he could definitely stir himself up because who knows who he's gonna work with. He definitely would work Julie, maybe with Evans.
Yeah. And he had a lot of control throughout the entire game, so he's got a lot out there.
Right, and so if he can somehow win the challenge, get back in, I think he's got a good shot as anybody. Mm-hmm. I think he maybe has a 25 to 30% chance of actually winning the game if he gets back in.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily see him being great at challenges either, so
no, probably not.
Probably not gonna win his way back in.
No.
But we'll see what the challenges. The being is probably something we said with like ropes and untangling ropes like they showed in the previous.
Yeah, it's like the one I remember one last season where they're untangling the ropes. You have to go over and underneath different poles to untangle them, and just takes a while.
And that's gonna be interesting to see 13 freaking people doing that challenge.
Yeah.
Or 11, whatever it is. So, cool. Other than that, that's all we got here. So it took longer than we wanted to, but it's the impact of each player and who has a shot to win if they get back in. I'd say overall most players have 0 or close to 0 chance to win. So I don't think they have much of an impact on the finale, but we at least have to talk about because technically and then we can still win. What's next? What's the next topic we're going to talk about?
Odds of getting to the end.
Odds of getting to the end. So we're talking about each player's odds of getting to the end, what they have to do to get to the end and or win, and what winner they would resemble. So who has, of everybody right now, who has the worst shot of getting to the end?
It's obvious. Devins,
of course. Of course. What does Devins have to do to get to the end?
Win immunity, find some more idols, sacrifice a chicken. He's got to win immunity. That's all he has. He doesn't have any alliances that are going to keep him there. Julie is the only one. Nobody else is going to do it. Everybody wants to get him out.
Right.
So
again, depending on who wins the way in, he could be helped by that. So that could be something too.
Possibly, yeah.
But I think this season is so fluid. Say Ron wins his way back in, I think Ron could vote with Devins for a vote and then turn around and get rid of him next.
Yeah, I mean that's Devins' hope though that someone that comes back from the island edge of extinction would help him, would vote with him and Julie. But who knows? And
if they do, they might only vote for one spot because they haven't sat on that jury long enough to know that he's got to get a shot to win. So even if you come back and you need his vote for one vote, unless they're really dumb, they're not taking the end.
Right.
So, what is next? Who is the fifth best shot or fourth best shot of getting to the end? Oh, sorry. Sorry, missed one. If he did pull it off, right? If he pulled the win out of nowhere, he'd be like Ben, right?
Yeah, I think he said that all season. Yeah.
Yeah. So he finds idols, wins challenges. Mm-hmm. Ben did win challenges. Mike did, but Ben, he's a combination of Ben and Mike. I guess he's won challenges and had immunity. Mm-hmm. He hasn't really been eligible to be voted out in the last couple weeks.
Right.
So if he can continue that going, if you can't vote the dude out, you can't lose.
Right.
We'll see how he's a fire though. We'll see if he needs to make
fire.
Has
to be a fire. Yeah, I don't know.
If he needs to, we'll see.
I haven't seen anybody build a fire this entire season, so don't know.
So we'll see. I think he's got as good a shot as anybody, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
I know Gavin's an outdoorsy guy.
Yeah, he is. So. He works at the Y.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's next? Who's got the... so he'd be like that. Who's 4?
Julie.
Julie's got the fourth best odds to get in the end. Mm-hmm. I could see Lauren taking her. She's a appetizing goat. People want to take her to the end because they could beat her. Yeah. But as far as how she gets there, not on her own accord. So I don't want to give her. I don't want to say that she can get there.
I don't think she can't get there unless they keep her there.
Right. I mean, she's kind of like the Angelina last season. Angelina had a great shot to get in the end. I put her I think number 2 best shot to get in the end because who wants to pull her out?
Right. Yeah.
But
you're gonna win if you take her with you.
But at the point where it's like, if you can't take out Devins at the final 5, you take out Julie.
Julie. Yeah.
So, because the three of them aren't going to try each other at this point.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think. Unless
I
somehow...
don't know. You can't even say that because all these alliances change every single week, so
Right.
you never know who's working with who.
That's true. So the only way I see Julie getting to the end is if Devin goes out next, which he hasn't title, so I can't imagine. If Devin goes out before the final four,
Yeah.
I see Julie gets to the end.
Yeah.
But if Devins isn't out before the final four, because again it's going to go back to a final six next week, but you get what I'm saying. So if Julie is left at the final four, I think she's going to the end.
Yeah.
If Devins is there, he's taking her. If Devins is out, I think Julie goes to the end. But I think Julie's next to go, unless depending on who comes back.
Right.
So it's all speculative, but that's what I think. Who's at the and if
Amber.
sorry, if she wins, yes. If she wins, here's how Julie wins, and it's not gonna happen. But here's how it would happen if it happened, but it's not gonna happen. Because it's not gonna happen. But it's not gonna happen. But if it did, here's how it happened, but it's not gonna happen. She goes down with the person who comes back from Edge of Extinction and Devins, and everyone's like, well, you two were voted out, so we're not gonna use votes because you guys were voted out already, so you don't deserve it. So we don't like you, so we're gonna give it to the only one of you who wasn't voted out of the game,
Right.
and that's her, and that's how she would win it. That's basically how Amber won. Which is just what the else didn't know we liked, and still almost lost. Basically Bob Crowley or Amber. So that's I think Julie's only chance, and it's not a good one. What's next? Lauren. What do you think Lauren's odds are?
I mean, I think Lauren's got a decent chance to make it to the end. Her working with Gavin and Victoria, they really haven't turned on Lauren at all for voting. Although with this past, vote with her bringing up Aurora and how she didn't care if Victoria wanted to vote for Aurora or not, she would still vote for her with Gavin. That could throw a wrench in things, but I think she's got a better chance of getting to the end than obviously Devins and most likely Julie too.
For sure. It's tough. I think she thinks she's closer with Gavin than she is.
Yeah. I mean, she admitted, though, she's close with Julie, so that's the harder part for her.
Right. The thing with Lauren, I think she can get to the end and finish second to just about anybody.
Right.
I think she can get to the end. She can beat Julie. She can go that route, or she can go with Victoria and go that route.
Right.
And either way, she'll probably finish second, get a couple votes.
Right.
And lose. How she wins is she takes out Devins, she takes out Gavin, and goes to the end with the other girls.
Yes.
And, whoever comes back from Edge Extinction, and then or whoever that ends up being, Devins, and then Gavin, and she goes down with Victoria, and if she goes to the end with Victoria and Julie, she wins. I think that's really her only shot, though.
Right.
And what did I say she'd be like if she does? She'd be like Michelle Fitz, right?
Yeah.
Misha Fitz. So if she does that, she basically has to win probably a challenger 2, make a couple moves, and take control of the game at that point. And she wouldn't be the greatest winner of all time, but she would have at least something on her resume. And she's made a couple moves, on some moves, and was an underdog for a good part of it, and pulling it out. So I can see that is her path to the end. I don't really know if it's likely, but it's if she gets taken to the end, she doesn't have a shot. If she can make a couple moves, she can get rid of Devins and then flip on Gavin. I think she's got a shot. She could possibly even beat Gavin, just depending on votes and how the next episode goes. Who's at the next with her as the third person. But right now, I think she's got slim chance. But if she has a chance to win, the best one is with Julie and Vic.
Yes.
What's next?
Victoria.
Victoria's got a decent shot to get to the end. I think.
She's got a decent shot to get to the end for sure. Her and Gavin are pretty much the tightest pair right now.
For sure.
And they've been running the game in the past couple weeks. Past these couple episodes.
Yeah, I feel like she's got to kind of to win the game. I think she just has to have a similar trajectory as Julie. I think the only reason I have her higher than Julie is is because
alliance space.
Right, she has a little more agency. That's about it.
Yeah.
Not much more agency in the game, but a little bit.
Right.
And because she was been in a couple moves. It hasn't really spearheaded anything, but has been in a couple moves. I don't think she had much of a shot to win either.
No.
But I think she's not going to be the next target or the
No.
next target after that. And at the final four, you might as well take her at the end at that point.
I mean, they're going to probably just take her to the end because she doesn't have enough of a resume for people to really want to vote for her to win.
Right. So she has probably a little more resume than a couple people, but I would say it's not doesn't have a great shot. If she gets to the end, she's basically Natalie White again. She goes down with two people again. If she basically does what Julie does. She goes down with two people who everybody hates. If War Dog's pissing everybody off and he comes back in the game, and they're mad at Julie, or they're mad at Devins because he was voted out. Whatever. It's not gonna happen.
Right.
But if he gets back in with Julie, she goes down with Julie and Reem wins her way in, and she goes down with Reem and Julie. Then okay, maybe she got shot.
Right.
But that's as close to 0% chance as anything. So
Right.
will she at the end? Probably. Will she win?
No.
We'll talk about that, but probably not. Who's the best odds to get in the end?
Gavin.
Gavin.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I mean, he's running the game right now. He's pretty much on top with alliances and been the one to kind of sculpt whatever votes have been coming out lately. So, he's gotten, once Ron's left, he's kind of been the puppet master, if you will, of the rest of the game. He won the reward challenge tonight, and that kind of put a target on him more with who he picked. But I mean, Aurora's gone now, so Devins knew he wasn't going to get picked, and Julie knew she's been on the outside for a while too. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think he's won a couple communities. He's got a decent resume, and he's been the kingmaker for since Ron's been gone, and he's been in a lot of the votes. I think he's got a good shot to get in the end, just because again,
nobody's really bringing his name up.
Right. The only really reason you get rid of him is if Devin's like, well, I got immunity. If Devin wins Zach's immunity, has a title and like that, and he's guaranteed to go to the end. Well, then maybe I put him on fire against somebody because see if somebody can knock him out or something. Because if I'm Devins, the only one I'm a little bit worried about is maybe Gavin and maybe Lauren. Probably not though.
Yeah.
But if I want to just make sure it's a 13-0 shutout, I get rid of Gavin.
Or the girls realize that they need to get rid of Gavin in order to even win, because Victoria going to the end with him and her being willing to do that is just baffling to me. I mean, nobody wants to go with Devins, but if he's got an immunity idol, he's not going out next week. He's got an immunity idol. No matter what, he's playing that thing. Yeah. He knows he's going to be voted for.
Right.
So the girls should realize that you're not going to beat Gavin. He has more going on than they do.
Right.
He's been with different, bigger alliances, and Victoria needs to realize there's no way she's going to win with him.
Right.
So you got to get him out.
So it's an edited show, and everybody's here with their own narrative. So I bet you Reem thinks she should have to win this game. You know what I mean? Like, I bet you Julie thinks she has shot to win this game too.
Yeah.
It's just like it's one of those things where people don't make the smart move because they don't think it's a smart move.
Right.
Because from the way they're seeing it, like let's say it's 36. People were saying Sebastian had a good shot to win. Like, what the frig? Sebastian? Are you kidding me?
Right.
Why? How?
The people that were actually on the show.
Correct. Yeah. And he thought he got the end. He was winning, hands down, no question. He thought he beat Wendell and Dom. And right. And I'm like, you're smoking something. Yeah. We knew he was, anyways. But everybody thinks so does Victoria and Julie? I think Victoria and Julie think they are gonna beat Gavin at the end. I think they're gonna beat maybe. So maybe they don't make that move because I think they can beat him.
Right.
But they shouldn't. They shouldn't think that way. Right. I think Gavin's got a good shot to get to the end though, because he's got a couple different paths there.
Yeah.
And he's not target number one just yet.
Right.
If he does, however, here's what he does. He has to get out. He has to make one more move. And that's to get out Devins. I think he beats anybody else. So if he can just make that one move, knock out Devins, he's winning everybody else. And I think he becomes the Denise Stapley, because she did the same thing. She rode with a tight ally to the end, and then that ally was gonna beat her, so she made one more move. They made all the same moves together the whole way, and then but he was gonna get a little more credit for it, and she knew she couldn't beat him. So at the final four, she got rid of him, and then she won. So I think that's basically what Gavin needs to do. I think he needs to follow that same trajectory. Stick with your allies until the last minute. Clip the last one who's the only shot to beat you. In this case, Devins. Take out Devins, and you're going to win the game.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
So shifting gears, let's go ahead and talk now about the players who.
Odds of winning?
Yeah. So if they get, say, they take everybody here and just they all get to the end. Every single one gets to the end. Who is winning out of that group? So, well, we kind of already know, and I'll put it this way: I think whoever's number one is got like a 90% chance.
Yeah.
And I think based on the edit, based on how the season's gone, I think whoever we pick number one, spoiler, you know who it's gonna be. That person is gonna win this game.
Mm-hmm.
I would, if you asked me, gave me 4-1 odds right now, on that one or anybody else, I would take the 4. I'd take the 4-1 odds.
Can we play Vegas?
Can
we bet in Vegas on this right now?
I'm sure we could.
I want to win some money.
I think 4-1 odds this person's winning.
Need this money.
So,
Okay.
so who is got the worst of the 5 remaining in the game right now? Again, Edge of Extinction could be a monkey wrench in the plan, but of the 5 people left in the game right now, who has the worst chance of winning?
Julie. Yeah.
Who does she beat?
Who's next?
Who
does she beat?
at the end? Nobody. Okay. So who's 4?
Victoria. I guess Victoria beats Julie.
I guess.
She kind of doesn't beat anybody either, but
So,
you gotta pick an order.
Right. So
Can
Victoria.
it be 5A and 5B?
Yeah, basically, right. I mean, at this point, it's Victoria could beat Julie if it's the final 2. It's not gonna be final 2,
No.
so Victoria's not winning.
No.
Okay. Who's 3?
Lauren. It's also not really winning it.
I don't see her winning either.
She can make it to the end. There's probably no chance of winning though.
I'd be happy to see her do
it. If it was her, Julie, and Victoria, then yeah.
And that's what she needs to do.
That's the only thing.
That's what she needs to do. I'd be happy if Lauren won. I think it'd be a good story coming from nothing, and coming from being on the losing side. All this.
Idol for how many
right
days?
Since the beginning,
Right.
making all these moves and
being a part
of the moves. I should say yes. She's gonna make a lot of moves.
Made a move. Really?
She's been a part of moves, correct?
Yes.
And she's just survived long. She kept surviving, keep hanging on, and eventually, getting to the end with the right people, she got a shot. I think it'd be a cool story. I think she definitely has a couple votes for sure on the jury.
Yes.
But
not enough to win the game.
Not enough to beat any of the other 2.
No.
So if she gets to the end, it has to be with the girls, and that's got to be what her plan is. Is she gonna do it? Probably not. Will she even try to do it? Probably not. I think she's at this point setting herself up for a 6-figure salary, for 100K as a second place finalist. But I don't think. I think that's probably her best. I think it's probably what she's trying to do at this point.
Yeah.
Is get a vote or 2, so
right.
she's not the loser, and get second place.
Right.
And I think she could definitely do that. As far as winning the game, we know what she has to do, and it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Who's got the second best chance of winning the game?
Gavin. I mean, Gavin beats all the girls.
I think so too.
That's about it.
Yeah.
He could win, but one key person has to be voted out.
For sure. Again, Edge of Extinction can change things, but I think if he does this, he's basically Denise, right? I mean, he goes to the end with his tightest ally, or with there's one bigger threat. He could be like, he's basically Adam. I would say even better examples. He's basically like Adam. Adam went to the end. All these people getting chopped. These big threats taken out, and then Adam rode a line with one big threat, the biggest threat left, which was David Wright. Went to the end with David, and then the Final 4 took out David, and there was nobody left to beat him. So I think that's Gavin's shot, is to get out Devins. If he gets out Devins, it's his only shot, because Devins is beating anybody.
Right.
But if Gavin can knock out Devins, I think Gavin's going to win the game.
Yes.
Unless he gets taken out next.
Right.
But if you get on the final 5, final 4, and you get Devins out of the game, nobody's left to take you out. I think you got it.
Right.
And I think Victoria won't turn on him either. So I think he's got that.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna at least make it. If he gets rid of Devins, I think he's gonna make it to the end and win. So that's a good thing. Right. But I think those 4 left in the game have roughly a 10% chance of winning the game.
Yeah. Amongst themselves.
Combined.
Yeah, I know.
10% chance. Who's winning this game?
Devon's winning this game. Pretty much. There's not really much of a question at this point. I mean, unless something insane happens, which a lot of stuff has happened this season, it's going to be him.
Here's what I think. I think Devins gets the end, he beats everybody. We know that. I think he's got tough road ahead to get to the end.
Oh yeah.
But as a student of Survivor, as someone who follows Edgic, as someone who listens to podcasts, someone who has their own show, someone who has seen 38 seasons of Survivor and knows that's an edited show, Rick Devens wins the game. Mm-hmm. It annoys me for two reasons. One, I've seen it coming from a mile away now at this point. Mm-hmm. You've seen, you knew it was going to be Devens or Ron or whoever, right? But Devens always has been in the conversation. He's not been going to come on to our blind side anybody.
Topic forever.
Right. And I hate the fact that the winner of the season has been voted out of the season.
That's his underdog story, though.
It's a twist, and it works out. The twists always seem to work out for somebody, and they always seem to work out for the men, which is annoying as well. There's never really a twist that works out in favor of a female character, and we haven't had a girl winner now in going on will be 4 seasons. But it annoys me that the winner of the season will be someone who has been voted out of the season. But hey, it's the way the season was designed. It's not his fault. He didn't ask for this.
And you got to play the game. You want to win, right? So what was he supposed to do? Just be like, I don't deserve to win because I came back from extinction.
And in all fairness, too, he was voted out, but it was like a 5-person travel, which was just on a losing team that could never win. So,
and I mean,
if they won if they won one damn immunity challenge, he doesn't get voted out because they don't get down to the numbers at that point where he's voted out.
But they all sucked working together, so that kind of didn't help him at all.
I mean, the numbers. He wouldn't have been at that tribal council because there would have been at least one person to vote out before he got to that point.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, in theory, he shouldn't have even been at the tribal council to begin with. But I digress.
I mean, the only downfall I had with him is when he got really emotional and freaked out on everybody and yelled a lot. But you have redeemed yourself from then. I am happy for him to be a winner.
I'm going to do what I did with Ben. I'm going to get behind it. And
we'll had to talk yourself into being happy about Ben being a winner.
Correct.
We had to watch the final episode and the after show, whatever it's called.
Reunion,
the reunion. You're like, he did deserve to win because of this, this, and this. You had to talk yourself into it. And
Correct.
you still talk yourself into it.
He was better.
Still not super happy about it.
I think he was a better winner than Wendell. But
yes, but you still were not happy, and you're gonna be talking yourself into this one a little bit more too.
And the thing is,
you're gonna convince yourself why he was a good winner.
Right. The difference too with Ben and Devens is that Ben wasn't a sure thing because Ben didn't win challenges.
No, Ben fought his way through tough.
Right. Even the finale, even the final. Once you get to the final 3, you're like, all right, he's got this.
Right.
But before that, you're like. Maybe some kind of, and even at the final 4, he knew he was gonna make the fire faster. But the final 5 challenge, like maybe he doesn't find out, maybe some,
You were just waiting for him to mess up so you wouldn't get through.
And
you were just hoping.
And it was crazy with that final immunity challenge when he had a U upside down or whatever, and it almost cost him $1 million having an upside down U.
Right.
The difference between Ben and Devens is Ben. There was a lot of intrigue in the finale because what's Ben gonna do? We think he's going to. We feel like he's probably going to. He's the hero of the story, blah blah. He could fall just short, and that'd be interesting too. But I don't think Devens has that second part to it. I don't think Devens has there's intrigue at least because Devens could lose. I don't think Devens is gonna lose.
Yeah, I don't think so unless they actually do get to vote him out. But we know
Somehow.
He has an idol, and after that, who the heck knows what's gonna happen? He's pretty damn good at challenges.
He is. He's won 3 immunities now, right, or something. So he's played the best game. He's definitely gonna when he wins, he's gonna deserve it. I'd rather see somebody else.
See, you're talking yourself into it right now.
I have to because it's gonna happen. I don't want to be upset when it does. So
internet world, my exhibit A of what he's gonna do for weeks afterwards,
or at least until and through the postmortem, and hopefully I don't think about it Survivor again until 39, which we have some news on 39, but I'm gonna wait until the postmortem. I might bring up the finale, but probably wait till the postmortem. But I know it's gonna be interesting. We'll see. I'm not jumping for joy about it, but we'll see how it turns out. They're gonna announce obviously what it's gonna be at least at the finale,
right.
So we'll know. But we'll see. And then we also have an idea of what 40 is gonna be too, which is cool. But again, I'm a little bit skeptical about some of these ideas. But it seems like the ones I'm most skeptical about are the ones that are the best seasons. I was skeptical about Millennials Gen X, and it was an amazing season. I was really skeptical about last season, and it was one of the best ones. So,
But anyways, Devin's winning this game.
Devin's going to win. I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know, and I'm not going to be shocked when it happens. But that's pretty much all I have right now. Anything else to add before we get to the finale?
I think that's it.
So that's all we have. We're gonna leave it here. We're gonna do a live reaction show immediately following the finale. Quick initial thoughts on why Devin won, and if something else happens, then that's cool too. The reason I didn't like Ghost Island was several things, but it was like, well, who's gonna win? Wendell or Dom? And we already knew one of the two of them was gonna win, so the intrigue is pretty much gone. In this case, it's kind of the same thing, so I'm not like too pumped for the finale at this point. But maybe some crazy will happen. We'll talk about what the craziness was. Either way, we'll be back next week, and then we'll do our post-mortem again a week or so after that. But be sure to follow us on subscribe to our channel so you get all the updates. Email the show pavement@gmail.com, facebook.com/pavement Share the post, tell your friends, subscribe, comment, all those fun things. You can tweet at Jessica at
JustT820.
Tweet me at YoGrabAGabba, and we'll be possibly live tweeting the finale even. So definitely follow us and get all the insights from 2.5 Brains, and don't miss anything. But I think that's pretty much it for now.
Yeah.
I think we're good. I think we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Anything to add? Anything to wrap up with?
No.
Cool. I have you. You've got nothing for him.
No.
I've got nothing else for you, because the tribe has spoken.